What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 102, as we start today's episode off on the back of our win over Swansea City in a South Wales derby in the FA Cup semi-final. We now take on Mauricio Pochettino's Paris Saint-Germain in the first leg of our Champions League semi-final tie, going for a historic treble. Now, with 4 games to go in Ligue 1, they've already been crowned champions of France, shock horror. And this is their team. 93 rated Donnarumma is between the sticks. An abundance of class fullbacks, including prime 88 rated Hakimi. Marquinhos is still 90 overall, despite being 33 years old now as well. Very strong defense, as you can see. The midfield is really decent as well. As I go through here, you'll see they've got Valverde, who is, I believe, is at 89 or 90 overall now. A really good regen here in Texera, a young Brazilian holding mid. Yari Vasherian is there at 83 overall. Yeah, Valverde is 89 overall now with absolutely brilliant technical ability and very high stamina as well. And up top, you'll be wondering, is he still there? He is indeed. Kylian Mbappe, 88 rated Diaby, 85 rated Lang, 95 rated Kylian Mbappe. Oh yeah, and this guy, Lionel Messi, still there, 40 years old, hasn't retired yet, 79 rated Neymar. So Messi and Neymar, not quite the same players they were in their prime back at Barcelona, as 85 rated Sarri is there as well, but still part of this Paris Saint-Germain side, and with Mbappe still there at 95 overall as well. There's only one player higher rated in this save, and he plays for us. His name is Gavin Humphreys, so I could not wait for this. Barcelona versus Liverpool, the other semi-final tie, but us versus PSG, the most dominant team in French football for well over a decade. First leg, Champions League semi-final. Could not wait. So heading into the game, this is our first leg of a European tie played at home, and I much prefer playing away in the first leg of my European ties. So I was feeling a little bit nervous heading to this game, knowing if we were to lose this game, going back to the part of the Prowns, that would put us in a really precarious position travelling to the French capital. So I thought in the first opening stages, let's get the early chances, let's test Donnarumma, and let's see if we can break the deadlock in the early opening stages. And we would. 11 minutes in, the guy who's so good they named him twice, Lloyd, gives us the opener and makes it 1-0. And in a game where it was going to be all about, you know, Gavin versus Mbappe, 96 versus 95 rated, who would be the star in this game for their team, who could win them the game. But in the end, it was other supporting cast members that were proven to be the better or the most important players on the pitch in the first half. Donnarumma had made a couple of great saves, including here on Matondo, to keep PSG only trailing by a goal, as we still led by 1. It was a first half where he'd be completely dominant as well. Humphreys wasn't really involved much, and 42 minutes in here, as he gets round his man with the piece of skill, it's a brilliant through ball, and Rabi Matondo just about gets round, I think it was Marquinhos, and smacks it in for our second in the first half as well. Great little ball by Gavin Humphreys. He didn't have much involvement in the first 45 minutes, but this first touch by Matondo, I'll be honest here, I thought I totally messed this up here, but just about got lucky, ran behind his man, smacked it past Donnarumma and found our second goal. And it was all Newport County in the first half as well. Just like in the first leg against Athletic, I was trying to be attack-minded in the opening stage, get as many chances as possible, and had Rashasha's finishing been better here right before the break with a final kick at the half, we would have been 3-0 up. In the end, Donnarumma untroubled. So all Newport County in the first half. In the second half, I was expecting PSG to come at us, try and get themselves back in the game and score an away goal. Not that it counts for double nowadays, but instead we stayed in attack mode. Unfortunately, Donnarumma was the reason why we only led by 2. I had chance after chance after chance to extend the lead in this game. Whilst my finishing admittedly wasn't the best, Gigi Donnarumma was having a storm between the sticks despite conceding twice. And 57 minutes in, oh my goodness, my best defender in this team, Lloyd Payne. Well, a bit of a gaff with me there with Payne. Yeah, I was trying to pass out from the back, and in the end I dribbled too quickly. Surrender possession, a quick little ball through, fed Yari Vasherian one-on-one, and the Belgian puts PSG back in the game. That was their only chance of the game as well, and I gifted them the route back in it to make it 2-1, and then with 15 minutes to go as we come on the break, and Padu holds the ball up well, finds Rabi Matondo, and in a game where Gavin was a little bit quiet, I'll be honest, for a Champions League semi-final first leg, in the end, Matondo said, "Bro, don't forget, I've been the top scorer for Newport County since I came in. Runs through 1-on-1 using Gavin as the dummy runner, makes it 3-1, restores our 2-goal cushion, and we have the 2-goal lead once again. PSG really woke up in the late stage as well. Not only did they get the goal back after a poor error from me with Payne, a couple of good chances towards the end as well. Good save by Price there, kept it at 3-1, and that was how the game would in the end finish. Final score, Newport County 3, Paris Saint-Germain 1, and we win in South Wales and have a 2-goal cushion to take back to the Parc des Princes as well. Man, oh man, oh man. I often say when I'm chasing a treble, one gotta go. You know, I often use that phrase, one gotta go. But this season, FA Cup final, big favourites against Crystal Palace, top of the Premier League, game in hand as well. And now, 1 foot in the Champions League final. Could this be a treble winning season for Newport County? Well, if we're going to do that, we need to stay composed in the Premier League and keep Manchester City at bay, who have now cut our lead at the top to just goal difference. Arsenal on the weekend away in North London at the Emirates Stadium here. Fatigue is definitely playing a part now, both mentally and physically, as I'm not playing as well as I had been at the earlier stages of this season. But heading into the game, 28 minutes in, we should have taken a lead. We had 2 good chances. First, Gavin rounding the keeper and then putting it into the side net, and then Ben Davis smashing one so far wide the post almost went out for a throw in. We were still we were still tied at 0-0 heading into the break, and I've got to be honest here, there weren't many chances in the game. Very lackluster, very tense game at the Emirates. And right past the hour mark, the Gunners would take the lead. Header put in by Hernandez. Beats Price, beats the man on the line, squeezes it in between the gap, and the Gunners take the lead right after the hour mark and make it 1-0. And our last Premier League game, need I remind you, was our loss to Liverpool, and we were staring down the brink of back-to-back defeats in the Premier League for the first time this season. And in the end, after we smacked the post through Brennan Johnson with 20 minutes to go, that became the reality. Couldn't get any more chances after that. And there it is. For the first time all season long, we have back-to-back defeats in the Premier League. And for Manchester City, as we end the month of April, unfortunately, after no points for a possible 6, we've now dropped to 2nd place. Manchester City have gone top by 3 points. Now, don't forget, we still have the game in hand. So, win the remaining 4. And due to the goal difference swing, let's be honest here, we will be crowned champions. But a big slip up against an underperforming Arsenal side in mid-table right now. And back-to-back losses at home to Liverpool and away at the Emirates Stadium mean that Guardiola's side, for the first time in the calendar year, have gone top. We had a several-point lead, we had a game in hand, and I've blown it. And our final fixtures in May aren't easy. Second leg of the Champions League semi-final, of course, Crystal Palace in the FA Cup final as well. More on that in a moment. And our final 4 fixtures, Chelsea, Norwich, Leicester. And who have we got on the final day? Anyone interesting? Oh yeah, away at the Etihad Stadium against Manchester City. The game that could decide the title. And if we are to go back to top of the table with 3 games to go, we need to beat Chelsea on the weekend. Otherwise, if we fail to win the game in hand, Man City will know, win their final 3, win the crown. In fact, win 2 and draw on the final day against us and win the crown. We have to beat Chelsea on the weekend. But before we get there, though, there's the small matter of this. The Champions League semi-final second leg away at the Parc des Princes as I desperately try and keep my treble dreams alive that have now taken a bit of a knock. Away from home in the French capital, holding a 3-1 lead after our big win at Rodney Parade. Really, with the chances we had in the first leg, we could have been not effectively home and dry, but a few more goals clear. Donnarumma was sublime in the first leg, kept the scoreline respectable. And in the second leg here, after a great save on Lloyd, I thought it was just going to be one of those nights where once again Gigi is unstoppable. But for our second chance of the game, 17 minutes in, bagged the brace at Rodney Parade a week ago and scores the opener in the French capital. Gavin with the ball over the top, Matondo going through one-on-one, and this was such a brilliant finish as well. Donnarumma is such a big frame, as we know. He's a giant, he's stacked, he's so tall, he's so athletic, and he's so imposing. Beating him on one-on-ones, well, as you've seen over the course of this leg, is not easy because of how big and tall, and his wingspan is so big as well. But Matondo put that just out of the Italian's reach, fired in the opening goal, and we led in Paris. But after that, PSG woke up. They had a poor start to the game, but then they started to get the chances, and 33 minutes in, they would level on the night. They needed at least 3 goals on night after we scored the opener, and they got one back here 33 minutes in. So we're tied in Paris, but have a 2-goal lead over the 2 legs, and PSG really just woke up after we scored the opening goal. I probably shouldn't have scored it because I poked the bear. Yari Visharin scored again to make it 1-1. Then he set up the second goal as that regen Texera, who I showed you at the start of today's episode, made it 2-1. And from leading 4-1 on aggregate to a goal down at the Parc des Princes and only leading by 1 over 2 legs as well, I was thinking, well, we've bottled our lead at the top of the table in the Premier League, and I wouldn't put it past me bottling this as well. It's our debut year in the Champions League, and I was struggling to handle the pressure. So, do you know what? I can't defend. Stopping PSG is an almost impossible task. I've just got to score more. So, right from kickoff, Matthews rolls through Dan James. Brilliant turn to beat the fullback. Step inside and smash it home to beat Gigi for the second time on the night. Dan James, I mentioned before, is so blimmin' good. He's fantastic, man. I love him in this team. So we lead by 2 over 2 legs at half time, and we're tied at 2-2 on the night as well. And in the second half, I was thinking, right, you know at half time where you pause, you look at the stats, you reflect, and you think, okay, all right, what do I do here? Well, I decided to make some big changes. Took off a couple of my starters, knowing that we had Chelsea on the weekend. We had a 2-goal cushion. I was thinking, play slower, slow the pace down, try and kill a lot of the clock, and look for more clear-cut chances as well with slower build-ups. And 3 minutes after the restart, you know I loved them. Kick-off goals, and in a tie where the 2 best players in the world had been so quiet, Gavin Humphreys and Kylian Mbappe had little involvement on the offensive end. Finally, the captain, who saw Matondo replaced at the break, gets the first goal of the tie for him and makes it 6-3 over 2 legs and 3-2 on the night. We lead Paris once again in a topsy-turvy second leg in the French capital and a crazy 2-legged affair as well. We once again had a big cushion on aggregate. But again, PSG, whenever we scored, just woke up and continued to attack. Great save by Price there, kept it at 3-2. With 5 minutes to go, Paris Saint-Germain would get a goal back to tie on the night and cut the gap to 2 over 2 legs. But really, there just wasn't enough time. 5.5 minutes remaining. Pochettino's PSG ran out of steam. And in a brilliant second leg, 6-goal thriller, 3-3 the final score. In the end, after our big win at Rodney Parade, we win the tie 6-4 in a 10-goal thriller in the Champions League semi-finals. That was such a fun tie. I had so much fun playing that. It was a brilliant, brilliant game. It was a brilliant, brilliant 2-legged affair. And we are into, for the first time ever, the Champions League final. And in the final, we'll be taking on, as you can see, Barcelona. Process one day through the calendar, and their big win at Anfield sees them through to the Champions League final. Newport County versus Xavi's Barca in the CL final. Bring them on, but before we get there, there's the small matter of trying to retain our Premier League title. 4 games to go. We've dropped to second, but we have a game in hand on Man City. If we beat Chelsea at the Bridge on the weekend, we will go top on goal difference. But we're desperately now struggling to keep our treble dreams alive. Just 1 win in our last 4 in all competitions. Back-to-back defeats in the Premier League. We're just about keeping our treble dreams alive. The question is, has one got to go? Or will we be able to complete a magic treble? But that will in today's episode of CNC, guys. Big thank you for watching. Enjoyed it. If you haven't, leave a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for 3 of the final 4 Premier League games in the next episode. More on that in the next episode very soon.